Ji Chen crossed over. I'm so mad. How can the female lead be so weak? Han Yuan, that scumbag, is already taking advantage of the cheap woman by his side, and the female lead doesn't even resist. How can such a good feel-good story turn out like this? What's even more infuriating is that this female lead shares my name. If it were me, I wouldn't let those two scumbags leave without a face full of flowers. I swear, I wouldn't even be called Ji Chen anymore. Author, do you even know how to write a feel-good story? Can you at least change the genre to tragic drama? Please, I'm begging you. Ji Chen's slender, fair fingers flew across the screen, pouring out all her frustration. After sending 3 consecutive comments, she threw her phone onto the bed. The screen displayed the reader circle of a popular female-oriented novel on a certain online platform. Afterward, Ji Chen flopped onto the soft bed in frustration. Her pure, flawless face, paired with a delicate oval face and mischievous almond-shaped eyes, gave her a charming look. Her long, shiny black hair sprawled carelessly on the bed. If it weren't for the anger on Ji Chen's face, it would be a perfect picture of a beautiful woman. Her pleasant mood for the weekend had been completely ruined by this novel. Ji Chen couldn't understand it. The female lead in the book, with her good looks and solid education, though from a fallen family and orphaned at a young age, why on earth did she have to hang herself on the crooked tree that was Han Yuan? And let us not even mention that scumbag. Not only did he have a mistress, but he also plagiarized the female lead's thesis and falsely accused her of plagiarism. These events had only happened in the first 10 chapters, but Ji Chen had already lost her patience. The female lead witnessed the scumbag and his mistress hugging and kissing downstairs, yet she ignored his cheating for some nonsensical love, which led to even worse consequences later. And this shameless author had the nerve to slap their feel-good tag on the book. Ji Chen was frustrated that she couldn't reach the author. Otherwise, she would have thrown the book in their face and asked, "Tell me, where's the feel-good part? Is it the scumbag and the mistress who are feeling good? And their big female lead tag? If this is what a big female lead looks like, being a little wife and punching bag, then she, Ji Chen, would never want to read another big female lead novel again. What the hell?" Perhaps it was because anger consumed her energy, but Ji Chen's stomach growled. She checked her phone, and it was already past 2 p.m. Ji Chen usually slept until noon on weekends. She had planned to read a novel for some light entertainment, but she had opened a toxic one instead. Since she was hungry, she decided to get up and grab something to eat. However, maybe the anger had drained her so much, but as soon as she stood up, dizziness hit her, and she staggered, bumping her head on the corner of the table, passing out immediately. Ji Chen felt a sharp pain in her head, but not just at the point where she hit. It felt as though her entire head was throbbing, like countless things had been crammed into it, buzzing loudly. She didn't know how long it had been, but she seemed to hear the sound of a phone ringing. Reaching around aimlessly, her hand brushed against a rectangular object. Without checking who was calling, she answered the phone. "Chen, aren't you home? I've been knocking for a while, but no one answered." A pleasant male voice came through the phone, but Ji Chen couldn't immediately place it. The voice was unfamiliar. She looked at the screen and saw the name, Han Yuan, displayed in the center. Ji Chen thought she must be dreaming. Had the book's toxicity seeped into her dreams, making her dream about the scumbag from the novel? "Chen, are you listening? Chen, are you alright? Say something, don't scare me." The voice was incredibly real. Ji Chen didn't have time to think it through and responded subconsciously, "I'm at home, just woke up, feeling a bit dizzy. Take your time, I'll wait outside. I bought your favorite butterfly cookies and some dishes you like." The man's voice seemed to relax, carrying a comforting warmth. Ji Chen sat up from the sofa and looked around at the unfamiliar surroundings. The apartment was a proper north-south orientation, with a reasonable 3-bedroom layout. The place seemed to be around 100 square meters, though the furnishings and decorations looked somewhat mismatched, as if they had been used for a long time. There weren't many new items. "Chen, have you gotten up? The butterfly cookies won't be as good if they sit for too long." The same male voice from the phone urged her from outside. Ji Chen suppressed her confusion and got up, walking to the door. She awkwardly opened the brown-red security door. As soon as Han Yuan saw the door open, a gentle smile appeared on his face. When he noticed Ji Chen's pale complexion, he raised his hand as if to touch her forehead. However, to Ji Qianqian, Han Buiyuan was a complete stranger. She immediately turned her head, blocking his hand from reaching her. Han Buiyuan awkwardly withdrew his hand. Qianqian, you don't look well. Are you sick? Let me come in and check your temperature. But after speaking, he noticed that Ji Qianqian didn't move to let him in and asked with concern, Qianqian, what's wrong? Ji Qianqian thought for a moment, then coughed lightly twice. Han Buiyuan, I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to rest. Please go back for now. Without waiting for Han Buiyuan to respond, she immediately closed the door. Seeing that Ji Qianqian seemed to be in an unusual state, Han Buiyuan looked at the butterfly cookies and vegetables he was holding, then softly said through the door, then, take care of yourself. I'll leave now. Through the peephole, Ji Qianqian watched Han Buiyuan turn and leave. She then returned to the living room sofa. She opened her phone and scrolled through her contacts. Most of the names in her contacts were unfamiliar, with only Han Buiyuan, Liang Dan, and Jiang Dai standing out. These were the names of characters from the novel she had read earlier. Then, she opened WeChat and checked the chat history. It didn't take long for her to confirm, she had crossed over into this so-called feel-good, big female lead novel. Now, she, Ji Qianqian, had become the original female lead. Ji Qianqian scratched her head and wondered which passing deity was playing with her. Those comments she posted were just pure complaints, she never intended to enter this book. Well, since she was here, she might as well make the best of it. The man from earlier was Han Buiyuan, who matched the description from the novel. He appeared scholarly, the kind of person who looked like a bookworm, except that his heart was completely corrupt. Flipping through the calendar, according to the book's plot, the scumbag should already be with his mistress by now. He had just pretended to be deeply affectionate at the door, playing some act of concern. Who knows, maybe the butterfly cookies were leftovers from his time with the mistress. Ji Qianqian shook her head, realizing she had wronged Han Buiyuan. The butterfly cookies were bought by him on their way back after leaving the mistress. They had been in a relationship for 3 years, and Han Buiyuan knew Ji Qianqian's temperament inside out. If it hadn't been for Ji Qianqian's mother's dying wish, forbidding her from doing anything before marriage, Han Buiyuan would have already taken everything from her. This had been a lingering regret for Han Buiyuan. He wanted to be her first man. Although he had already been with the mistress many times, conquering Ji Qianqian, once a high mountain flower, was still incredibly appealing to him. While Ji Qianqian was still caught up in how she had crossed over, a sudden ding sound echoed in her mind. They say all crossovers come with a golden finger. It seemed that her golden finger had just arrived. Ding! The sign-in system has been successfully bound. You can start signing in now. Complete daily sign-in tasks to receive sign-in rewards. We encourage players to participate actively. Manage your time wisely and enjoy your game life. Be mindful of self-protection and avoid being scammed. Ji Qianqian, who usually loves reading novels to pass the time, instantly understood what this was. Wasn't this the recently popular sign-in system? You don't have to do anything all day, just sign in to become rich and beautiful. If that is the case, Ji Qianqian felt much better about her current situation. Before she transmigrated, Ji Qianqian was just like many ordinary people. She had just graduated from university and had a decent job, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Her monthly salary, after covering basic expenses, didn't leave much. Why did Ji Qianqian enjoy reading novels to pass the time? It was because, of all the entertainment options, reading novels was the cheapest. Even reading all the legitimate books for a year wouldn't cost much. Of course, she couldn't afford to make large donations, and the most she would give was a small tip of about 100. Excited, Ji Qianqian checked her personal attributes. Player, Ji Qianqian. Age, 24. Attributes, Stamina 55, Intelligence 65, Charm 60, Total 168. System level, Level 1. Experience to upgrade, 1 million. Sign-in task, view Ji Qianqian's diary. System space, novice gift box. Sign-in incomplete today, completing the sign-in task will count as signing in. The system space was like a backpack in a game, with many small compartments. Currently, only the first compartment contained a red gift box, with a golden new tag in the top right corner. Reciting in her mind to open the novice gift box, the red gift box suddenly expanded and appeared right before her eyes. The ribbon automatically slid off, and the box lid opened, emitting a dazzling light. Ding, congratulations, player, you have opened the novice gift box and received a 600 square meter riverside apartment on the 36th floor of Jiang Houting A Tower. When Jiyu Qianxian saw the words, Jiang Houting, she was left utterly shocked. This book was set in an urban environment, and the author had lazily borrowed the entire setting from Haining City. Jiang Houting was a famous luxury property in Haining. How luxurious was it? There were only 5 buildings in this complex, but the total land area covered over 20,000 square meters. All 5 buildings were over 40 stories tall, and the apartments inside were huge open-plan units, with even the smallest unit being 450 square meters. Buildings A and D were each 1 unit per floor, and there were also about 10 duplex units in the high-rise section, all over 1,000 square meters in size. The system had awarded Jiyu Qianxian a 600 square meter unit, just 50 meters from the Pujiang River, with a 270-degree river view, a true first-line riverfront property. Before Jiyu Qianxian transmigrated, the price of the apartments here had already reached 350,000 yuan per square meter. After the System S prompt, Jiyu Qianxian saw a red property deed quietly lying in the system space. With a thought, the bright red deed appeared in her hand. In her past life, Jiyu Qianxian had always dreamed of owning her own home. As she gently traced the embossed gold patterns on the deed, the authentic leather texture told her that everything was real. When Jiyu Qianxian had been reading this book before, she had envied the female protagonist. Although her family had fallen on hard times, her parents had bought her a house years ago, which had been registered under her name. No matter what, the female protagonist always had a place to call home, so she wouldn't end up on the streets. Looking at the 3-bedroom apartment in front of her, Jiyu Qianxian decided to pack up and move. But halfway through packing, Jiyu Qianxian suddenly paused. At this critical moment, her first priority was to deal with Han Buiyuan and his mistress. Jiyu Qianxian remembered that the Qixi festival was approaching, and in the book, that was the day Han Buiyuan used the excuse of cooking dinner for the female protagonist, only to steal her master's thesis while she went downstairs to buy seasoning. What followed was a series of nauseating actions. Han Buiyuan framed the female protagonist for having an affair with a young master from a nightclub, using it to blackmail her for 50,000 yuan money that had been left to the female protagonist by her mother. Then the mistress published the thesis she had stolen from the protagonist and labeled her as a shameful plagiarist. Jiyu Qianxian didn't know what happened after that. She had stopped reading at this point because she couldn't bear it anymore. But now, Jiyu Qianxian had become someone else. She had to get her revenge on these 2 scumbags and shameless women and then proudly move into a luxurious mansion. Having made up her mind, Jiyu Qianxian returned the half-packed items and suddenly remembered that there was a sign in task to complete. So, she started rummaging through her bedroom. Sure enough, Jiyu Qianxian found several dark green-covered notebooks in the drawer of her desk. Judging by their wear, these books seemed to span several years. Taking out the oldest one, she casually flipped through a few pages. The original owner didn't seem to write every day, usually recording something every week or half a month. The contents were mostly daily events between Jiyu Qianxian and Han Buiyuan. January 18, 2015, overcast. Mom said the family went bankrupt, but luckily some assets were transferred to my name earlier, otherwise, the creditors would have taken them. I wanted to use that money to help pay off Dad's debt, but he refused. Mom also told me not to touch the money or their house, saying it would be my dowry. March 28, 2015, overcast. I don't want to go to school anymore. I want to work, but Mom disagrees. She says no one will want a girl with only a high school diploma and no university degree. March 29, 2015, overcast. I no longer have a father. October 5, 2015, rainy. Mom was hit by a car on the street. I only managed to see her one last time before she passed away. Now, I've lost both my father and my mother. The world is left with just me. The handwriting is blurry with tear stains. Buiyuan called and cooked me a home meal. He said he would always be there for me. March 29, 2016, overcast. Today is Dad's death anniversary. Buiyuan accompanied me to the memorial hall to burn incense for him. On their way back, Buiyuan noticed I was in a bad mood, so he took me to buy butterfly pastries. As I took a bite, the sweetness seemed to ease the bitterness in my heart. July 31, 2018, rainy. Today, I almost lost track of time while studying at the library. Luckily, Yuen came to pick me up. Otherwise, I would have been soaked like a drowned rat. Standing next to him, I couldn't help but think that he looked a little like Dad. November 2, 2018, sunny. Today, Yuen said he successfully stayed at school. As long as he survives the 3 years as an assistant professor, he'll be able to teach officially. Then he'll give me a happy life. I look forward to that day. After reading these various length entries, Jiu Qianqian's eyes became a little misty. Although she had already read about the original owner's experience in the book, back then, she felt that the original owner was too timid and didn't understand why, even when the mistress had barged in, she still couldn't leave the scumbag. After reading these diaries, Jiu Qianqian seemed to grasp some reasons. During the most difficult times in the original owner's life, it was Han Yuen who had been by her side. Maybe at that time, the original owner had already relied on him as a spiritual pillar, making it difficult for her to let go of him even after his true nature was revealed. Sighing, Jiu Qianqian closed the original owner's diary. Then, she revised her revenge plan. If Han Yuen didn't steal her thesis on Chishi, they could part ways amicably. Ding, congratulations, player, you have completed the sign-in task. Reward, a money tree. Money tree, 0.01 yuan can be added per second. Without any external influence, the money will continue to accumulate. The amount of growth is related to the system level. Players can withdraw to the designated bank card by silently reciting withdrawal. Additional note, all rewards issued by this system have been legalized and rationalized. Please feel free to sign in. Jiu Qianqian nodded. Her fleeting worry before was that others might find out that her things were all out of thin air. Now that the system has taken this into consideration, she can rest assured. 0.01 yuan is added per second, 24 hours a day, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds, which means a daily income of more than 800 yuan. Thinking about her job before she crossed over, she worked very hard and only earned more than 6,000 yuan a month. Now she earns more than 800 yuan a day, and if a month is calculated as 30 days, that is more than 20,000 yuan. It's paid, it's paid. Jiu Qianqian had chatted with the team leader of the art group before. She was extremely envious of his monthly salary of more than 9,000 yuan. Her goal at that time was to strive to increase her salary to 10,000 yuan within 1 to 2 years. Now she doesn't have to do anything, and the system pays her more than 20,000 yuan every month. Jiu Qianqian is so happy. Suddenly the phone rang again. Jiu Qianqian picked it up and saw that it was an unfamiliar number. The screen showed a string of phone numbers instead of a name. Hello, hello. Jiu Qianqian has developed a habit over the years, and she must answer the phone with these words. Hello, is this Ms. Jiu? This is the housekeeping department of Jiangan Housing. Our system just showed that Ms. Jiu bought the house on the 36th floor of Building A in full. What's wrong, is there a problem? Jiu Qianqian thought to herself, didn't the system say that everything was handled, why did the phone call come in now? Fang Qinghe heard Ms. Gu's question on the other end of the phone, and the smile on his face did not change. He said to the phone, it's like this, Ms. Jiu, I am your exclusive housekeeper, my name is Fang Qinghe. You bought a finished house with fine decoration. Considering the living habits and comfort needs of each household owner, Jiangan Housing will provide a decoration layout adjustment service. If Ms. Jiu is free, you can come and see if there is any related need. Jiu Qianqian thought about it, that's right, the finely decorated house looks good, but it's hard to say whether it is comfortable to live in. Since Jiangan Housing has this service, she really needs to go and see it. Hello, Fang. Mr. Fang, right? You can call me Butler Fang. Butler Fang, when is the right time for me to go? Ms. Jiu, you can come anytime, I will be waiting in the lobby of Building A. Although Jiu Qianqian had read a lot of novels about wealthy families and CEOs before crossing, she didn't know the real service of this kind of luxury house worth hundreds of millions. It would be a lie to say that she was not uneasy. However, on second thought, this house is worth more than 200 million yuan, and from what Butler Fang said, the system arranged for me to buy it in full. According to the principles of economics, people who can pay 200 million yuan in cash to buy things must have more than 20 times the assets behind them. Thinking of this, Jiyu Qianqian felt more confident, but La Fang, I'll go there tomorrow afternoon. Okay, Ms. Jiyu, if you have any needs, you can contact me at any time. I won't bother you any more now. I wish you a happy life. Goodbye. Goodbye. Jiyu Qianqian has already begun to imagine the scene of living in a 600 square meter flat, but will it be too spacious if she lives alone? It seems that tomorrow, I have to study the layout and decoration of this house carefully. At this moment, the system has accumulated a few yuan, and it is still beating. Jiyu Qianqian wants to try whether it can really be withdrawn. Withdrawn to China Merchants Bank savings card. As Jiyu Qianqian silently recited, a dingling sound came from the mobile phone immediately. China Merchants Bank, your card with the last number 5678 received 1.87 at 13:55 on August 2nd, and the balance of your RMB account is 200,891.87 yuan. China Merchants Bank's activities are underway, with cash bonuses and grand prizes. Please log into the China Merchants Bank app for details. Jiyu Qianqian was puzzled when she saw the balance. Didn't the book say that the original owner's mother left her 500,000 yuan? How come there is only 200,000 yuan left now? Looking at the situation in the house and her clothes, it doesn't look like she spent 300,000 yuan in one go. So where did the money go? Jiyu Qianqian logged into the app and looked through the transfer transaction records. About 3 months ago, there was a transfer of 300,000 yuan, and the recipient was Han Buiyuan. After careful recollection, Jiyu Qianqian remembered that Han Buiyuan proposed to the original owner 3 months ago. Of course, it was not a formal proposal ceremony. When sending the original owner home, Han Buiyuan said that he wanted to get a marriage certificate with her. At that time, he said that he didn't know whether she would agree, so he didn't prepare a ring. The original owner was so moved that she even said she would be willing to do it without the ring. Afterwards, Han Buiyuan's acting skills exploded. He said that he couldn't afford to buy a new house. He had previously taken a fancy to a second-hand house, but the money was still a little short. He beat his chest and said how incompetent he was. The original owner couldn't bear to see Han Buiyuan like this. Without saying a word, she lent Han Buiyuan 300,000 yuan without even writing a promissory note. Han Buiyuan was also very excited. He said that he would definitely make her happy. He also said that his salary would be given to the original owner to manage in the future. She only needed to give him 200 pocket money every month. Now that I think about it, Han Buiyuan may have bought a house for real, but it's hard to say if it wasn't for him and the heroine. After all, in the subsequent plot, the mistress lived in that house, and Han Buiyuan wanted to cheat her of the remaining 200,000 yuan. He also made his parents find a reason, saying that a girl like her who had no father or mother needed to give a sum of money to her husband's family and Han Buiyuan's family, otherwise the couple would not be harmonious or something. When Jiyu Qianqian saw this, she complained about where there was such a weird custom. It was obviously a scam, but the original owner was stupid enough to give it. It was really infuriating. It seemed that she had to find a way to get the 300,000 back. Even if they broke up peacefully, the money was hers, Jiyu Qianqian, and there was no reason to spend it on the scumbag and the mistress. Towards the evening, Han Buiyuan called. Qianqian, are you feeling better? It was said that Han Buiyuan was good at acting. At this time, Han Buiyuan was enjoying the breeze on the balcony of the mistress's house, while the mistress was busy in the kitchen. I'm fine. Jiyu Qianqian's tone was a little cold. Han Buiyuan felt that Jiyu Qianqian might be quarreling with him. Because he had to accompany the mistress to the hospital for a checkup yesterday, he found an excuse not to accompany Jiyu Qianqian to the library. Maybe it was because of this that Jiyu Qianqian was unhappy. Qianqian, are you mad at me? Angry that I didn't accompany you to the library yesterday. Yesterday the professor wanted to see me, and I couldn't get away. Jiyu Qianqian rolled her eyes. No, I just watched TV for a while. The show was about a cheating husband and a wife crying. How can you men be so unfaithful? Han Buiyuan's smile suddenly disappeared, and he subconsciously looked towards the kitchen. Then he said with a guilty conscience, Qianqian, you can't generalize. I am devoted to you. Men can't be unfaithful. Being fickle mainly depends on their moral bottom line. My bottom line is very high. Besides, I have a girlfriend as good as you. Others are very envious. Don't you think so? Jiyu Qianqian snorted. Han Buiyuan was still as good at coaxing people as always. It was not time to confront him yet, but Ji Chen was too lazy to continue playing this role. Well, no more. I'm hungry. I have to cook something. After hanging up the phone, Ji Chen came to the kitchen. When passing the glass door, she saw her reflection on the glass door. The pajamas on her body were very old, and they were all filled with old t-shirts and pants. After that, Ji Chen went straight to the bathroom. In the dressing mirror in the bathroom, Ji Chen saw that her face was still the same as before she traveled through time, but her appearance had dropped a lot compared to before she traveled through time.